Let's talk about it. I've always been fascinated with this topic, the giants, the Nephilim, as some may say. And reading in Genesis chapter 6, where it says that the sons of God left their position, because they saw women and they were fair, they were beautiful, and their offspring created Nephilims, right? And they created giants. Now, I'm not an expert in this, but I do like to research this type of stuff. So I want to play a few clips for you guys of somebody that has a little bit more expertise than I do talking about this. So check this out. Tell me what y'all think about this.
I get lots of questions about the Nephilim, and you talk about the Nephilim in the book, that you say there's even been fossils found of these giant beings that were human form. Of course, those of you that may or may not be familiar with Scripture, these many believe were the offspring of when the fallen angels found human women to be attractive and began to produce it was Satan's attempt at a God man.
Did y'all catch that? One, it was Satan's attempt at a God man, right? To mimic the embodiment of Christ. And then two, they said they found fossils, huge bones left. All right, y'all, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. One of my theories is thinking that when people talk about the Greek gods, right? Perseus and, Thor, Zeus, where did they get those stories from? There are some people that absolutely believed that they lived. And I don't necessarily believe that, but I think where they got it from was some of these Nephilims, these giants came on the scene. Of course, they're going to have certain abilities, certain powers. Y'all, what y'all think? Put it in the chat down below. I'm curious. Let's keep going.
And these giant humans that we have found fossils of, right?
If you look, Goliath was supposedly 10 feet tall.
Sure.
This was after the flood.
Yep.
There was a king of Bashan. They had his bed in Jerusalem. I don't think it's not there now, but it was one of the first ironworks. It was 15 feet long. It was 6 feet wide. They estimated that the king of Bashan was probably 12 feet tall.
Wow.
They have found Loveland Cave in Arizona. I believe they found fossils. I found in the book of Wild Bill Cody, through his explorations of the West, it talks about how they were with the Indians.
So Wild Bill Cody, I've never heard of that book. I'm gonna have to research that. And then two, they found some evidence in Arizona. Baby, we might be might be going to Arizona, taking a trip. I'm just saying, stuff is fascinating to me. Let's keep digging deeper.
Brought out a thigh bone. The physician in the group looked at the bone, and it was a thigh bone, but it was about the size of a full-grown man. So they estimated that the size of he said it was a human thigh bone, but they estimated it must have been about 15 feet tall. This person, whoever it was, the Indians told them that there was a group of giants that used to live in the land, and they had the power that they would run alongside of a bison and actually just pick them up with one arm.
Do you know how big you have to be to pick up a bison with one arm? In the history books, I've seen where when they would hunt for these bisons, right, they would use bow and arrow, spears, click, pow. But to pick one up and put it in a headlock and say, hey, yeah, you dinner tonight. That's a giant. Another story that I heard here recently that I want to share is the Kandahar giant, where a U.S. military team went up against something like this. Now, I know some people are saying, well, hey, that's far-fetched. You too far deep out there. But am I? It's fascinating stuff. Check this out.
The story is this. We're in Afghanistan. We're looking for high-value targets. A patrol is dispatched. They miss their rally point. Nobody knows where these guys are. So the next morning, another patrol is dispatched to the same location to try to follow this trail, see where they go in the Kandahar province. And as they're coming around the corner, they start to see what looks like parts of uniforms, bones, blood. And before anybody can do anything, a nightmare comes out of the cave. 14-footer. He's got flaming red hair, 6 fingers, 6 toes. He is screaming at the top of his lungs. He is brandishing a lance. One of the men break away and start firing at us. This thing moves with such agility and speed that it stuns the rest. Everybody's like, this soldier is impaled, and the giant's holding it up, screaming at the top of its lungs.
Hey, I'm just saying, right? There's so many things shrouded and hidden. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But what I do know is that the Bible talks about men of great renown, Nephilim, giants. So I'm fascinated. Put it in the chat down below. What do you guys think about that? Do you believe that the giants were real? Do you believe that they're demons? Do you believe I don't know what you believe. Put it in the chat. If you have found this content interesting in any kind of way, listen, comment, like, share, go and subscribe to the channel. This is good stuff. Till next time, go be great, beautiful people.